You're watching Weekend Geek. I'm Riley Rossmo. And I put a nice pause in there for you. I don't know why. I draw a green wake. It's scary, it's spooky. It's got some nudity for all those nudity lovers.
Welcome to Weekend Geek, your new comics preview for October 26th. I'm Mike Ortiz.
I am the Chris Brown.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, we got a big week, another big week.
We got a big week.
I'm going to start out here with Planet of the Apes number 7. What can I say that I haven't already said about this book? It's good. We're in the middle of the second arc. It's just getting better. The artwork is fantastic. It's a Planet of the Apes book. I love this book. I mean, this is going to be one of the first things I read tonight. So, and I'm behind on everything. I'm not behind on this. Next, we're going to get into our DCs a little bit here. All-Star Western number 2. I thought the first one was a lot of fun. You know, I really liked the Jonah Hex character, and like I said, the main reason I didn't jump in before is because it was kind of moving along, even though each issue was a standalone issue anyway. But for whatever reason, I just didn't jump on, and now here we're getting into like a story arc, and I'll jump onto that, but because I can start at the beginning. You know, there's a kind of a Jack the Ripper murder kind of thing going on, like in 1800s Gotham, and Jonah Hex is involved. So it was cool. I really liked that first issue. Then we got the Fury of Firestorm. I liked what they were doing with the Firestorm character at the end of Blackest Night and Brightest Day and all that. I did not get to read the first issue yet. I am behind on this one, but I'm really looking forward to this. You know, you got Ethan Van Sciver's actually doing some writing. I don't know whether or not he can write. I'm always skeptical
he's co-writing
writers.
With Gail Simone.
So she should be doing pretty.
So he's probably doing plot. She's actually writing.
He's co-plotters and she's doing the writing. Yeah. So the artwork looks okay.
The artist is good. Ildray Sinar?
Yeah, Ildray Sinar.
He's good.
So yeah, I like it. I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably going to sit down and read the first two together. Then we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 672. This is part 6 of Spider Island. This has been good. You know, with that last issue, Mary Jane had her powers, was looking all sexy on the cover. I think we got to be getting close to wrapping this story up, right?
Yeah, I think it's moving from being kind of just sort of...
673 is the epilogue. This is considered the last part.
Yeah, so
the epilogue will be next month.
The hijinks are kind of done now. It actually gets into the seriousness and actually who's behind all of this.
So that's that should be fun. Looking forward to that. Daredevil number 5. Oh man, I'm loving Daredevil again. I'm having fun with Daredevil again. This book, you know, Andy Diggle killed it in a matter of 8 months, and then Mark Waid's been able to come back and bring it strong. And the artwork flipping back and forth between Marcos Martin and who's the other one? Weren't they flipping on that?
Marcos Martin and Paulo Rivera.
Yeah, Marcos Martin did this issue. I love his stuff. Just it feels like classic, fun comic books. And just Daredevil's there's still a little darkness creeping in the back, but they made it fun and interesting again, as opposed to just, man, what are they going to do to Daredevil this month?
I mean, as soon as Bendis took over, it became kind of a crime noir book with superhero trappings, and now it's a superhero book with crime noir trappings.
Yeah, and I think that works. Yeah, that's a nice place to bring it to.
I liked where they went with it, but that isn't going to sustain me for as long. So because I wound up dropping the book eventually, even skipping this one until everybody started raving about it.
Yeah, I think it's been great. Then we've got the Incredible Hulk number 1 by Jason Aaron and Mark Silvestri. The Shattered Heroes is the big banner across. At the end of Fear itself, they had a 1-page thing for everybody. You can hear Smits and I complaining about that on the Zod Complex. But I'm looking forward to it. Whatever. It's that 1-page blow-off from Fear itself. I just want to read some new Green Hulk. I just want it to be good again. He looks crazy and bearded. I love anybody crazy and bearded. I got the thing to win a whole episode of Geek Fights just because I'm screaming crazy, frozen, bearded Kurt Russell. Yeah. So we got crazy, hulked out, bearded Hulk.
And I'm not getting it.
Are you not getting it at all?
It's
just
not
at all.
At all.
Really?
I'm sorry. I'm not. It's not going to be in my stack.
Because you're afraid you won't be able to complain about it?
No. I consider the Hulk and I on a break.
Are you okay?
We may try to get back together again in 6 months or so. We'll see if I feel he's really changed. But
and then he can't be mad at you about the other comic books you've been with in the period of the break.
We're on a break, so you can get the Hulk. I'm fine with that.
Oh, Oh, I'm going to get the Hulk.
but yeah, this is the first break I've taken from the Hulk since Peter David was writing it.
Wow.
So yeah,
I was on a break myself.
Yeah.
I was on a break. I'm coming back.
I almost broke up with the Hulk during the Bruce Jones run.
I did break up with the Hulk during the Bruce Jones run, and I did not come back for Planet Hulk. And I have since read that story, but then it felt like it started to meander again after World War Hulks, and
it's been doing this for a while. So this. I'm
excited.
very tempted.
Mark
to get
Silvestri
this.
drawing the Hulk.
Mark Silvestri. Jason
Dude, that looks great.
who normally I'm not a fan of. I've just been in this kind of. It really was up until today that I just was like, no, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to wait.
He's cranky. He's like.
For all I know, I'll get it next week. I skipped Daredevil 2 the first time out.
So, Journey into Mystery 630. Young Loki. We just got one last week, didn't we?
Last
week or 2 weeks ago.
Before, something like that.
It was good. They're still doing Fear Itself. Fear Itself should be over by now, but they're still wrapping that stuff up. Great stuff. Heimdall, the Destroyer armor's in there. So, I don't know how this wouldn't be good. It's been good the whole way through. Kieran Gillen, nothing but good things to say about him.
Yep.
Secret Avengers. This is the second issue by Warren Ellis.
I think so.
So it's got Shang-Chi in it. I'm in. I've been reading Secret Avengers the whole way through, and I didn't like the first story arc. I liked the Shang-Chi arc. I don't think I like this artwork, but I can probably deal with it. Maybe. I don't know about that. David Aja with Raul Allen. So I think Raul Allen screwed up David Aja's work somehow, because David Aja's stuff is awesome.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome.
This is clearly not.
Well, it looks like it's jumping back and forth between two artists. I don't know.
But Secret Avengers, I'll read it. I've been reading it and enjoying it. Cloak and Dagger Spider Island, number 3. It's written by Nick Spencer, who's been doing some great stuff since he kind of jumped on the scene. And it's Cloak and Dagger. It's been fun. I like these characters. It's one of these street-level tie-ins to the Spider Island. So, check that one out. Dead at the Hands of Kung Fu. I love Shang-Chi with spider powers. I love Shang-Chi. I do. I really like the character. Whenever they do anything with him in it, I'm a sucker for it, and I'll pick it up. I don't think I realized how much I liked Shang-Chi until maybe a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then there was just something just hit me, and I'm like, I really like that character. Probably because you don't really... Well, he'd been gone so long, you didn't think much about him. And then when he was back, it felt so great to have him back. Mm-hmm. I was so glad to have him back. And so, I'm reading anything they'll do with him. I really like the Shadowland tie-in with Shang-Chi. And that Shadowland, all of that stuff sucked. 27, the second set, issue number 2. I like this book. It's about a guy who plays guitar who, is the whole myth of the greatest guitar players dying at 27. Mm-hmm. He can't really play guitar until he gets this crazy instrument weirdness put in his chest by some crazy mad doctor. And then now he has, he can use it 27 times, but he doesn't know how many times he's used it. He doesn't, it gives
him different superpowers.
Yeah. Yep. At first he could just play guitar, but then it wore off and his hands still hurt again. And, it's weird. It's weird enough that I like it. It's one of these Image books that I'm enjoying, and it is the oversized Golden Age format, which I dig. Then we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3. I've been liking it. I mean, this is a reboot too. This is a starting over for the Ninja Turtles. You're kind of getting to know everybody all over again, but I dig it. I mean, Casey Jones is a young guy, a much younger guy. The Turtles, they seem like they're on a little break. There's things going on that we don't know, even though we're familiar with all of the characters. But they're talking to General Kang, and he's kind of in the background, or Krang, and he's in the background, and you can't see him, so you don't know if he's just a brain. We don't really know what they're going to do. But it's been great. I really like the first 2 issues. I think they're interesting. I've always liked Turtles. Turtles came out when I was younger. I was about a teenager when the cartoon came on, and so I'm always going to have a soft spot for Ninja Turtles. And then at Fanfare, I got to have a conversation with Kevin Eastman about cheap thrift store suits.
Wow.
So I'm all about Kevin Eastman and the Turtles, and he didn't even want to talk Turtles with me. He wanted to talk about cheap suits, primarily because I was wearing one.
He's probably done a lot of turtle talk.
Imagine.
Doesn't even talk fashion a whole lot.
His wife won't let him wear the crappy 70s yellow suit with the big lapels that he's got. So he was envious that I was allowed to wear my suit. Then we've got The Vault #3. I really like Sam Sarkar. The one time I met him, really, really nice dude. Remember, we had those issue #1 signed. And this book's been good. I like it. It's a monster in the deep, and it has been signed on for a movie. Sam says he's had this story in his head for, like 20, 30 years. And it's been signed on for a movie, and I think it's going to work well as a movie. Mm-hmm. It has this Leviathan, abyss kind of thing going on. But, with treasure hunters and a sea monster. And I don't know, you tell me there's a monster in it, I'm in. And I liked those first 2 issues. And again, for me, when you like something and then you find out the creative team behind it is also really cool, you like it a little bit more. Yeah. And Sam was such a nice guy and really, really cool. So, not only do I like the book, I like it a little bit better because I got nothing but nice things to say about the person behind it. Screamland #5. This book's awesome. It's the Hollywood monsters working like the convention circuit, and they're trying to solve a murder. In the first issue, someone killed the Invisible Man. And it's awesome because there's like nothing there but a blood spot. And then when they cover him up with the sheet, then you can see the body outline. Really clever, awesome stuff. This has got to be getting to the end of this story arc here. This isn't ongoing, but I know we got to be getting close. So we must find out who the killer is because it looks like there's the end here, and it also does not look like there is a backup story. Like in all the others, there's been a backup story focusing on one of the characters. And those have been just as interesting and really, really cool. But it looks like we finally found out who killed the Invisible Man. I don't know who that is yet. Excited to read this one tonight. Another book I am caught up on. Things that I'm loving, I'm obviously caught up on. Then I was really busy today, so I didn't even get to read this. And this is killing me. I'm actually going to read this before I start editing the show here. Because it's The Walking Dead. Walking Dead 90.
The show's back on?
The show's back on. I love the comic. The show has been all right. I've got some problems with some of the characterizations. And we were talking about this on, Zod Complex, where you don't have a problem with it. You kind of like the characters because you don't know what they're like.
Right.
So, like, Dale and Andrea are ticking me off a little bit on the show, but Andrea's still doing her normal thing in the book here. We're in a lull in the book. I mean, it looks like there's a group of people that are about to turn on Rick. So something's about to happen, and we got to be getting to the end, I think, of this story arc. So, this one should be good, and I am really, really excited about it.
And we're coming up on issue 100.
We are, yeah.
10 issues away.
10 months away, and who knew?
Yeah.
Kirkman certainly didn't.
No.
So that is the bulk of my stack. What are you looking at this week?
Well, I'm going to start off with some new 52. I got the bulk of them this week. I stole them from you.
You did.
Start off with Justice League Dark, Peter Milligan. The first issue was quite good. I mean, it's definitely a getting the team together book. Some spooky, mystical stuff goes down. Superman can't handle it because he's vulnerable. Batman doesn't like messing with magic. So basically, the Justice League, these people have to pop up to save the day from the things that the Justice League can't handle. So basically, this is just the magic.
From literally the things that go bump in the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's still kind of assembling. There's some sort of big threat going on. They're not a team yet per se. I'm sure they won't be till the end of the first issue or the first story arc. But right now, it's just a bunch of magic users kind of coming together.
Right.
Next up is I, Vampire. I didn't know what to think of this book. I love the artwork. It's got a very kind of early Jay Lee vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Or like a Hellshock Jay Lee.
Yeah.
I've not read much from Joshua Fialkov before, but I've heard a lot of people singing his praises. This was a good, solid book.
All right.
I mean, it's a vampire book. There were some confusing things. It jumps around in time a little bit. But it's definitely just the very start of it. It was very character-driven. But it was good enough for me to give it a second shot.
All right.
Next up, Green Lantern New Guardians. First issue was pretty solid. Kyle Rayner is my favorite Green Lantern. This is the book that focuses on him. Basically, all the different rings have decided that he is going to now be a member of their corps, and the original owners of the rings are not too happy about that. So I don't know where this is going. That kind of intrigues me. I think this is going to be...
So it's not necessarily a team-up book with the other colors yet. He has all the rings.
Yeah, all of the rings have come to him. But yeah, this is going to be a Green Lantern book that doesn't quite fit with the other Green Lantern books, and I like that. And I like Kyle a lot, like I said. Next up is The Flash. The jury's out for me on this book still. The first issue was solid. It was hard to tell really if Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato are really going to gel as the writers on the book. Certainly it was Jeff Johns driving this bus before, and now we've got these new guys writing it. The art is fantastic, but it's got another couple issues before I'll really kind of make a decision as to whether or not it's making the cut. But for now, the art is good enough for me to continue to give it a shot. 1 month ago at this time, I was wearing green pants. Now I'm not. Neither is Superman.
You're red, you mean?
Red pants. Sorry.
Red shorts.
Red shorts.
Short pants.
This is the second issue of Superman. I actually liked the first issue. I know a lot of people didn't. It certainly was just kind of setting the stage for what the new status quo is. But I got no problem with that.
Okay.
It was. I love the art. George Perez doing the breakdowns. Jesus Marino doing the art. Just fantastic stuff.
Art is nice.
It's certainly not Action Comics, which is my favorite of the Superman books.
I did like Action
52, but I love Superman. I'm sad that Perez is already basically off the book. That Giffen and Jurgens are coming in. I have a feeling they're just going to be kind of like a temporary team till they can get a new team on this book. Hopefully they'll get all that sorted out and Superman can sort of charge on to the glory that he deserves. Next up is Aquaman. I really enjoyed the first issue of this.
Okay.
Certainly Jeff Johns is a great writer. I've had issue with some of the stuff he's done in the past. I'm one of those guys that doesn't care for Aquaman at all. But
I like that book.
He actually made it work pretty good. I like how he addressed the issue of Aquaman not being cool and Aquaman saying, "I don't talk to fish. Fish do not have the brains to be able to talk."
Yes.
Next up is the Jack Kirby Omnibus Sampler. This is one of the DC Comics Presents that I've been singing the praises of so much. Basically, this is just a variety of Jack Kirby's DC work. Like it says, a sampler of some of the stuff from the Jack Kirby Omnibus collections. I've got the New Gods one, but none of the other ones, so this really intrigues me. I'm not familiar with a lot of Kirby's. This looks like his 50 stuff. There's no superhero stuff in here, so I've read his stuff from Marvel. I've never checked out his DC
excited
stuff.
about that one, too.
Next up is a book that surprises me that's even in my stack. It's Wolverine and the X-Men. I don't like Wolverine, and up until recently,
Jason Aaron.
I didn't like Jason Aaron. So this should have been one that I passed on, but damn it, Jason Aaron really kind of got me hooked in with what he did in Schism, and I'm kind of curious as to what this new X-Men status quo is like. It's got Chris Bachalo on artwork, who always turns in a great looking book. But it's just kind of weird for me that I'm actually buying this. But hey, you never know. I'm not buying the Hulk. I am buying Wolverine. Go figure.
Who knew?
Next up is The Mighty Thor. This is basically the epilogue to Fear Itself. I think we finally get the story of Odin and his brother.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
That's what it looks like here. Matt Fraction has been doing a good job on this book. Pasquale Ferry.
On that book.
He dropped the ball a bit on Fear Itself.
To the point where you barely knew there was a ball.
Yeah. It was maybe there wasn't.
It's bad. It's bad.
Maybe there wasn't a ball at all. Maybe it was a hammer.
If you happen to watch this show and you're the one that's calling me, you know we record Knock It Off. Moving on.
So that's The Mighty Thor. That's the next up on my list. Captain America and Bucky. Looks like we got Bucky in a concentration camp. I'm all for World War II Captain America.
How many times are they going to stick Bucky in a prison?
I don't know. At least he's got a regular arm in this book. But that's pretty much where we are with that. Captain America during World War II. If that alone doesn't sell you, you're not going to like the book. Now we got my Hickman. We got FF number 11.
Been a great book.
This is all building towards the big Fantastic Four 600.
Well, 12 and
FF
600,
12.
right?
Yep. So that's where the book's going to split. If we haven't sold you on this book and on Jonathan Hickman by now, we're not gonna. But it's basically, it looks like this time we've got the Fantastic Four versus the Kree, with some Inhuman stuff thrown in.
I actually just received more 587 black bag first printings.
That's right.
Why do you go to second and third printings if you have first printings sitting around? That I don't know, but I have them and they're going to be cover price. So swing on in.
Indeed, it was a good book too.
It was.
Next up, the Ultimates. I actually haven't read the last issue of this yet.
Okay.
As I've said before, I've gone a little cold on the Ultimate line of books. This is again another Hickman, so it's probably good, but we'll see.
I don't see how it wouldn't be good. It's Hickman.
Next up, we got Butcher Baker, the Righteous Maker, number 7. In all honesty,
is that an ongoing?
Apparently so. This is number 7.
That's a weird number.
I haven't read. Yeah, I'm sure this is. I don't know. Maybe this is. There was quite a gap, so maybe there's 6-issue story arcs. I actually don't know because I haven't read the book since issue 2. So I'm 5 issues deep. I'm still picking this up. If I actually don't at least read a couple of them by the time the next book comes out, I'm probably just going to drop it. Same thing with Kirby Genesis. I love Jack Kirby.
But
I love
not
Alex
Jack
Ross.
that's doing it.
It's not. Kurt Busiek is good. Love Alex Ross's artwork, but again, I kind of let myself get like 3-4 issues deep on this. This is actually issue 4, so I'm 3 issues deep.
Okay.
So I read issue 1, I liked it, and haven't read it since. Again, if I don't get caught up, there's 52 DC books out there calling my name.
They have messed up everything for me.
I think it did. So that's pretty much my stack.
All right, well, I got 2 picks this week. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to be greedy this week. I'm going to pick, we got Red Wing, number 4,
Yeah.
404. It's the last of the Red Wing book with Hickman. Again, if we can't study on Hickman, we can't do it. I mean, what more do we need to say? This guy writes high concept stuff that's absolutely brilliant. This Red Wing book has been freaking phenomenal. I've absolutely loved it. It's been a time travel story that doesn't make my head hurt. Mm-hmm. Like it's a time loop that feels fairly linear in the way he's choosing to tell it. And this is the end. This is the conclusion. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Now, my second top pick, my top pick, Green Wake number 6. Green Wake's back. Mm-hmm. Curtis Weeb, really, really cool dude, very talented writer. Riley Rossmo, tremendous artist. I just recently, a couple weeks ago, got that art page from issue 5, that big splash page of Carl coming out of the water, looking all frog monsters all over him. So I really like this book. They decided to make it ongoing, and here we are. Just great stuff. This actually looks like Riley's going a little more traditional. Usually he's kind of spreads stuff out and does things in kind of a different sort of style. This is more like a 9-panel kind of format.
Wow.
So Riley has told me that he's been doing things a little different lately, like just doing some different styles and things. And this looks a little different than his normal stuff. But this book's been awesome. Curtis Weeb, if you remember a few weeks ago when we put a little thing on the front end of the show, where this story arc, he's going to be telling us kind of a little bit more about what happens in how you get to Green Wake. So he's going to be doing a little bit more reveal. I mean, at first it was a mini-series, but he had a lot going on in his head. Once he got to go ahead and do it ongoing, he's got stories to tell. So, I'm really, really looking forward to Green Wake number 6. And you got anything you want to say?
I got my top pick here. It's Legion of Superheroes Secret Origin number 1.
But that's not why you're buying it.
I don't really like the Legion, and I don't really like Paul Levitz, but I do like plastic rings. And this comes with a plastic ring, a Sweet Legion flight ring.
Yep. So buy your copy of...
If you want a cool plastic ring, I'm pretty sure it does not grant you the ability to fly or travel through time. If it does, then I'm going to grab the rest of them, so don't even bother. So if they're here tomorrow or here today, when you come in, that means you can't fly, because we would be flying with them right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be hovering off the ground right now.
But we'd be floating as we do this show. But even beyond that, one of the problems with the Legion, with a lot of people, and myself included, is it's kind of confusing.
Sure.
They've rebooted it a couple of times. When they did the reboot back, like in the early '90s, I jumped on. I actually liked it quite a bit. After 0 Hour, I kind of fell off. When Mark Waid rebooted it, I picked it up. I actually liked it all through Wade's run, and then dropped it after he left.
I did the same thing.
This particular, the Levitz Legion, when Jeff Johns sort of brought him back, they jumped back to the old, basically the pre-Crisis Legion, the Legion that Levitz wrote. He continues to write it. I was never that interested in that Legion. Part of it's because I didn't really know it well enough. Okay. So I figure if I'm ever going to be able to like the Legion, starting here at Ground Zero is it. Certainly with the regular New 52 books, those just continued where the book had been going. So they really weren't particularly good jumping on places.
Okay.
Maybe this would have been a better book to lead with. I don't know, but I figure I'll give the Legion a shot. If this works, maybe I can get into it. If not, I still got a cool plastic ring. What else do I need? Although I just have to point out, the Green Lantern rings made sense, Flash ring made sense, Legion ring makes sense. If all of a sudden I'm going to start getting like Swamp Thing rings to try and boost sales, that isn't going to fly for very long. I'll still buy a Swamp Thing ring though. So if you're
I would want a Swamp Thing ring.
I'll take a Swamp Thing ring. No Firestorm.
Just like if that Swamp Thing's face on it or something.
Yeah, I don't want a Hawkman.
It would almost have to be fuzzy too, like the old felt stuff where it had to be a little like fuzzy.
So yeah, Swamp Thing. Somebody tell Scott Snyder I want a Swamp Thing ring. I don't think there's any other books that want a ring. No Batman rings, no Superman rings. Unless it's a Kryptonite ring. I'll take a Kryptonite ring on an issue
That would
of Superman.
work. That would work.
So you got 2 rings that you can still get me on DC. After that, we'll talk. Hulk ring, I'll buy the Hulk.
You buy a Hulk ring?
Yeah, why not?
You even like the Hulk.
No, but I figure I'm on that board, and all they need is one thing to knock me over the edge.
Well, that is your Week in Geek.